Section 6. Follow your dreams. I am tired. Part of me is afraid to take another step into this world. Sometimes it feels better to die and never wake up, to die and sleep no more, never wake up to knowledge of history. It seems like the more I learn, the more I am pissed. Oh, God, when will my time come? When will I stop surviving and start living? I'm not trying to hurt anyone, but I feel as though I am drowning into nothingness. To be invisible in a crowd. When will my time come? In Lincoln, something happened that changed the whole course of my life. Because I never even had dreams or aspirations of being an artist of any sort. But what happened in Lincoln spun my whole world completely around. And when it happened, I had just enrolled at school late because we moved in October. Yes, moving again. The 8th grade class where I was going to had decided to copy the graduating seniors and hold an election for class officers. So I step into the classroom and the first thing I notice was all white roses and one tulip queen of the night. But not anymore. The teacher was explaining to the class, saying that the president should know how to run a meeting, the secretary should know how to write, and so on. And when she got on to the very last office on the bottom of the blackboard, that was the office of class poet. And she turned around and said, a poet must have rhythm. Poems must have rhythm, and she kept repeating it. Well, I'm walking home from school that day because the election was to be the next day, and the one other colored pupil in the class, the tulip queen of the night, she just gave me a look and said, "Oh, we don't have to worry about that old class election," she said. "They never select Negroes into anything at these schools anyway." And it turns out that she was just about right. She's been in the class for the whole 8th grade and never had a class officer of color during her time. Well, when I went back to school the next day, we started out the day by having the class election. And sure enough, all of the officers were elected down to the last office on the board. And of course, the colored girl was not nominated for election to anything. Not even nominated. But when they got down to the bottom office, which was poet, class poet, there weren't any nominations at all. The kids looked around, examining each other, and they didn't see anybody that even looked like what they thought a poet ought to look like, I guess. And there were no nominations, and so finally, the teacher said, "You have to nominate somebody. Don't you want a class poet?" So a little white boy got up at that point and looked around. "Langston Hughes!" The whole class said aye, unanimously.